Well, hello, fellow Kansas Democrats. Gina Repass here, proud chair of the Kansas Democratic Party. And before I say anything else, let me thank all of our veterans and active duty members of our military. Thank you for your service and for our freedoms. Well, welcome to our weekly chair chat. For those of you who may be joining us for the first time, this replaces a weekly written newsletter, and I took this from FDR's Fireside Chat, so I could just come directly to Kansas Democrats and keep you in the know about what's going on. Now, these are pre-recorded, so if there's something you want me to talk about or highlight, please email us at info@kansasdems.org. That's info@kansasdems.org. Now, if there's something more pressing, please reach out to us on our phone number. We have a lovely person answering phones. We try to answer every call by the end of the business day, but sometimes up to 24 hours. Well, let's get right into it. What I do is I try to start with good news and sometimes not so good national news, and then grow all the way up to the best news, because we all need to end on some hope. So let's start this week. A little national news. Just Donald Trump has decided he's going to put his signature on all of our currency. That's all I'm going to say about that. Also, if you're part of our trans community, I want to reiterate that we stand with you here in Kansas. I know some of you have gotten additional harassing letters from the Department of Motor Vehicles. I just want to say to you, we stand with you. Let's take a pivot and talk about some good things that happened this week, some good news. I got to go to Jennifer Day's launch. She is running for Secretary of State. We all need to throw our weight behind her. We must protect the state from Pat Proctor. And she just did a wonderful job. She's a great person. She understands how important voter protection is. And I was so privileged to be able to speak at her event. And then I actually crossed the state line and helped stump for a young congressional candidate. But what I loved about that is when I got over there, I saw Ashley Reyes, one of our wonderful great young Kansas Dems there, volunteering. And let me be clear, but she's volunteering on both sides of the state line, but she reminds me that there's nothing we can't do if we all put our hearts and minds to it. Saturday was a wonderful day. I started out with Senate District 37, Gerald, Gentry, and Kristin Schultz do a wonderful job leading that. It was a packed meeting. There were candidates there. They talked about taking back House Districts 14 and 15 and highlighted House Districts 5 and 6. And I got to speak to them, and we had a wonderful Q&A session. I love getting out to talk to Democrats. Then we headed out to Dickinson County, Abilene, Kansas. We were so privileged to be able to speak at their Women of Excellence Awards banquet. It is Women's History Month. A lot of people are celebrating women's suffrage this month, and it was wonderful to hear all these great things that women are doing. We talked about CASA volunteers and teachers and people who are making sure that history is preserved, and just amazing women. But one of the award recipients is our very own Rebecca Perkins, chair of Dickinson County. She actually founded this award, and they recognized her this year. It was just a great honor and privilege. And then on the way home, I stopped off in Riley County, where the Riley County Dems and their chair, Kelm Lear, by the way, the youngest county chair that we have in the state. I'm so proud of them. They had their annual banquet and fundraiser, raised a record amount of money for themselves, had a meet and greet with the candidates. They gave every candidate 3 minutes to talk, but they had a record crowd. I could not be more proud of Kelm Lear and all of his board in Riley County. Just tremendous job. Well, let's get to the best news. Speaking of young people, this week we, in a partnership with the DNC, launched our week of action for voter registration. And our Kansas Young Dems, led by President Krewson, jumped right in. We brought in the DNC. They had a great meeting to launch this. So we are registering young people. I always want to shout out Kerri McIntyre and Siobhan McIntyre in Cali County, who've made this a regular thing for them. But this week, all of our KYDs jumped on a Zoom for training and are out for the next full week helping register young people to vote. So proud of Krewson. Now let's get to the best news of the week. No Kings rallies. You all showed up once again, Kansas. I will tell you, in parts of this state, they are doing this every single Saturday. But this week, whether it was 10 to 20 people in the smallest counties to thousands of people all across the state, thank you so much for showing up and showing that what we have in this country, we don't need our president's signature on our currency. That's what they do in Great Britain. We don't have kings here. We have a representative republic. And I was just so proud to see Kansans all over the state doing that. I also would like to wish Adam Orduna a happy birthday. He's our media director, does a phenomenal job, and we're just really pleased that he's a part of our staff. We have an amazing staff. For those of you who are celebrating, this kicks off Holy Week. Be reflective. Even if this is not a part of your faith journey, it's always a good reminder that our job is to love our neighbor as ourselves. Well, let's end the way we always do. May God bless America. May God bless the great state of Kansas, and may God bless you all.